Hello, are we live? Catherine and Tish, hello, how are you? Good to see you here. This tour, by the way, is something of a test, really. I've deliberately not publicised it in any way other than to mention it on my previous stream. So, hi Susan, hello. And Claire, hello. Yeah, I was down this way in Oxfordshire anyway, so I thought, why not do a little stream? And Elizabeth here, hello. Hello, Maria and Beata, hello. And Carl, hello. And Teresa, hello. So yeah, I'll start the stream at 3 o'clock as per the custom on Hago, which we used to use. And yeah, just wondering how you all found your way here. Did you get notified half an hour before, or? No, I deliberately, it's not on the calendar. I deliberately left it that way, although they say that on the calendar, for now, they only want you to put up 3 tours per April. Shaquille, hi. So yeah, but the intention is that I do plan to do a lot of sort of more impromptu tours, because I do get around the country quite a bit as virtue of what I do. So yeah, I just thought I'd see how YouTube reacts in terms of getting people on board to this stream, really. And Shaquille, yeah, so we're in Abingdon today, so you got a notification, Gloria, okay. As you can probably hear, the geese are in full voice today. Got plenty to say for themselves. Oh, thanks, Cynthia, thank you. All hell's breaking loose here on the Thames here. Well, as long as they're not hissing at me, I think that's the main thing. Yeah, I hope everyone's enjoying their Saturday. Much like these geese seem to be. It's also quite funny when you see them on the water, because the Thames flows really quickly here. So sometimes it looks like they're just freewheeling. Maybe it is, maybe. Oh yeah, has anyone got any bets on for the Grand National? I haven't been paying attention this year myself. Well, no, was it not? Was it Rachel Blackmore who won the Gold Cup? Was it on Cheltenham that year? Oh, is that right, Teresa? An app called Screenshot Touch for Android. Yeah, I've not looked into the options for screenshots on mobile, so that's helpful to know. Yeah, I'm hoping we'll be experts soon enough. Where in England is Abingdon? It's about 55 miles west of London, but north. It's close to Oxford actually, so about just 6 miles south of Oxford, in Oxfordshire. So yeah, it's shaping up to be a very pleasant afternoon here. It's like a jigsaw puzzle picture indeed, with nice symmetry. Oh yeah, I was in Liverpool just the other day, so yeah, I missed out on the national when I was there. Yeah, I'll be back in Liverpool at some point, I'm sure. I'll put you doing laundry. Oh, well. For anyone wondering, I'll give you a proper tour of Abingdon in just a few minutes' time. I normally like to just get things set up about 10 or 15 minutes beforehand, so just enjoying this ambience by the river in the meantime. Looks hungry. Oh, thanks, Dish. Yeah, it was. It was nice to see Liverpool and see everyone out to join me on that. Oh, thank you, Gloria. Oh, the good old pair. I appreciate that, thanks. It's kicking off here. I'm just best stand back, or else I won't be able to get a word in edgeways here. But yeah, so Abingdon on Thames, yeah, very pretty town, and I think it's come up to 3 o'clock UK time. Just wait for the clock to tick over, and I'll give you a little tour of the town. Well, I think that makes it 3 o'clock UK time, so I'll just introduce myself. So hello, my name is Alex, a.k.a. 4K Explorer. On my channel you normally see me doing ambient walking tours of towns across the country, and I've recently taken the plunge into live streaming although that has come about from about 9 months ago, because I was formerly on a site called Hago.com, which sadly closed about a week ago. And so some of you in the chat may know me from Hago, of course, there. So just to explain a couple of things. So this is a live walking tour, so I'll show you around the town we're in of Abingdon on Thames. I'll give you a little bit of history behind it as well. And if you're interested in taking screenshots or postcards, if you will, there is an extension you can download. There is a link in the description. It's called Screenshot YouTube. Just allows you to take as many pictures as you like by clicking the mouse, or you can configure it to respond to the tapping of the letter P on the keyboard. Tips, by the way, it's not something I tend to lean on too much, but if you're interested, I have super chats enabled, so that means there is a rectangle with a $ just below the chat box. If you click onto that, there'll be the option to tip from as little as £1 or $1 or your respective currency, and with that in return you get a highlighted comment via super chat, or a highlighted emoji, premium emoji, via super stickers. But as I say, there's no obligation for any of that, of course. There's also an option to pay by PayPal if you do insist, of course. There's a link in the description for that, but again, none of that is necessary, of course. But either way, I should say welcome to Abingdon on Thames, and yeah, so just to give you a little bit of an introduction. So we are in a town which is about 55 miles west of London and a bit north as well. And Raymond, by the way, I'm looking into upgrading the audio. I'm aware that there's it's not optimal yet, but I've ordered a new microphone, so yeah, I'll get onto that as soon as I can. But yeah, so for now we are, as I say, in the county of Oxfordshire. Although historically this was actually in Berkshire, but that's another story as well. Abingdon, by the way, is about 6 miles south of Oxford, and we are on, of course, the River Thames. And oh, is that Olga in the chat? Hello. And hello to everyone else who's joined as well. So we're on the River Thames. Of course, the Thames doesn't just go through London; it goes all the way to Gloucestershire in the southwest. And so there's some little lovely towns alongside the River Thames, such as this one. Some others as well that spring to mind, like Henley on Thames, and Oxford is on the Thames and the Cherwell as well. And this church in the background is St Helen's Church. We'll get a closer look at that as we go into the town itself, but for now, just to know, it dates from about the early 13th century, or possibly even earlier. The current building, though, dates from mostly the 15th and 16th centuries, so it's quite historic. I'll just test out the old zoom function to see if we can get a bit of a close-up. Still getting used to the old controls here, but yeah, here's a little glimpse at St Helen's Church. I'll zoom out again. So yeah, so we'll take along this path, a walk along the Thames, as we say hello to these geese that have been in fine voice today. And this is one small section where the Thames actually runs from east to west, incidentally enough, and the current flows quite quickly. So if we do see any geese or any other waterfowl along here, you might be able to see them kind of freewheeling it down here, which is quite amusing. But for now, we'll just do a little backwards walk. I'm looking behind me, it's pretty safe. Famous last words, I know, but lovely bit of symmetry there, the church spire against the river. And so Abingdon, by the way, has a population of over 30,000, and the name comes from Old English for Abba's Hill, where Abba was the name of a Saxon settler. Nothing to do with the Swedish band, but so Abingdon, any town or city with Don at the end, generally means a hill. Although you might be wondering, what's a hill got to do with somewhere that's on the river? Well, the answer to that appears to be that the fact that the original hill in question was about 3 miles north of here, and that was the site of a monastery that was built in about circa 675 AD. But that building didn't go to plan for whatever reason, so they instead built a different monastery around 699 AD, and it's just over the other side of the river. And they decided to go with the original Abingdon name, and so this is one of the oldest settlements in England, so they say. And so the abbey has a bit of a tumultuous history. It was destroyed by the Vikings at one point in the late 9th century, later rebuilt and refounded in the 10th century. And it also became the 6th largest abbey in England prior to the dissolution of the monasteries. And although nothing much of the abbey remains other than the gatehouse, but we'll see that as we go into the area itself. I'll just give you one last look of the river from this angle. So over this way we have a very old bridge. This is Abingdon Bridge. Well, it's actually two bridges. It's separated by this island in the middle of the river. And oh, thanks, Tish. Just a reminder, if you click the like button, then I'm told that swarms of fairies will come and sprinkle with good luck or something like that. So, and it helps with the algorithm as well, which is a bonus. So, appreciate all of that. And so, yeah. So the bridge dates back all the way to the early 15th century. It was originally built from 1416 to 1422 from stone, although I should say that this was actually rebuilt in 1927. However, they did use the original stones for facing in order to preserve the historic appearance. And this was a key bridging point between London and the West Country, making Abingdon quite significant back in the medieval era when woolen products were traded on the route into London via this bridging point. And also, of course, it is, as I mentioned, about 6 miles south of Oxford. And of course, when Oxford became a big university city in the medieval era, that would have helped Abingdon as well by nature of its proximity. So, give you another shot of the river here. And from the other side, but I'll just watch the traffic first. They like to do in one of these pub stroke restaurants on the river. And yeah, keep me posted on the picture if anything goes awry. It says, well, I just said 829 kilobits per second. It's picked up a bit, but let me know if there's any surprises at your end, of course. So yeah, so in the meantime, We are on the bridge and there's a nice little pub here. Which is a popular pub name in Britain, although it springs to mind Only Fools and Horses, one of the greatest sitcoms ever made. But this particular Nag's Head dates from the 18th century and nicely positioned on the river. And I'm just doing my best to look at the screen, although the sun's quite glaring on it quite hard, but I'll keep up. And so we just head into this sign welcome us into the town officially. And here's another shot of the river. Good. At the moment of buffering, but good now. Ah, thanks for the update. Yeah, it does show me the kilobits per second, so it's like a numeric version of the ominous bars on the Here You Go platform, for those of you who know. And one more little shot of the lock's down that way. Oh, yeah. So yeah, we've got a couple of other interesting pubs to talk about, including this one, the Broad Face. And there's an interesting story behind it, and that story is written on the gable end, which we'll see in just a moment. I'll just let these people by. So as it explains, the Broad Face at the junction of the Street and Thames Street. There's a mystery surrounding the name. More colourful, the theories that it either alludes to drowned. Now we've got another pub here, the Crown and Thistle, dating from 1605 originally. Same year. A few coaching inns where the horses go to be changed for a fresh set of legs and have a bite to eat and maybe a bed for the night. So we're just going up to the gatehouse of the Abbey, and anyone else losing the signal? Yeah, keep me posted on the signal if it's whether it's buffering or not. I am taking a slight gamble on coming to Abingdon, of course, so it does give me a chance to see how the signal fares with one of the sort of small to medium-sized towns. But yeah, in the meantime, just give them So yeah, I was saying, so this, by the way, is the Abbey Gatehouse, the only surviving part of the Abbey remaining. And so the gateway itself dates from the late 15th century, and so you can see there's a large arch in the middle and some smaller arches on either side. So the large is designed so that the horses could go on through a prison, a town jail, and an older gateway that stood here, but then there was a riot that broke out in 1327, and that was when the townsfolk, they were unhappy about the abbey's control over the market behind us, and they burnt the market house and the gates of the. And so what happened next was the prior of the charters that the townsfolk presented to him, and the abbey remained up until the dissolution of the monasteries in the era of Henry VIII. We do have the connecting church. I'll just manoeuvre my way around so I can get a good look. Clear to go. So this right here is St Nicholas Church, and this dates from the late 12th century, and it was originally used as the place of worship for the abbey service, but it became a parish church in 15th century additions like the bell tower and so forth. Signal iffy. I'll just keep moving then. And then over here, this right here, I'm hoping the signal's okay for now, but this is the County Hall. It was built from 1678 to 1682 and designed by Christopher Kempster, who's the master mason to Christopher Wren during the rebuilding of St Paul's Cathedral. So there we go. I'll just give you another look at the church from this angle. I'm hoping this signal's picked up. It says 3,869 kilobits per second. Oh, thanks, Elizabeth. Thank you. So of course this is one of two churches in the town, the other one being the one that we saw at the start of the walk. We will just come back to that church because we're just swinging around to the start point just on the other side of the river. And in the meantime, there's at least one other pub to talk about. This pub in the oldest town, so they say. So the King's Head and Bell. So it goes way back, and this was at one time a coaching inn. Also, Charles I, Abingdon being not far at all from Oxford, which was a royalist stronghold. But carrying on this way, you can see we've got some very shots of the church that we saw at the start of the tour. So either way, we'll see how far we get in. And like I say, in some respect this is a test tour. Like I say, I didn't publicise it other than just to mention it on the tour of Cambridge yesterday. So it's also to see the extent to which the notifications help. Yeah, the kilobits per second is going down to 200. I may have to keep walking. But like I say, it's all good practice. We're all new to the YouTube streaming, for those of you who know me from hago.com, that is. So yeah, we're just looking to find our feet here. And yeah, just wondering if there's any feedback on the picture. It's down to 105 kilobits per second now. Yeah, if you're still watching and listening, this is St Helen's Church. So, as I mentioned, it dates from the early 13th century, or possibly even earlier. And oh, thanks, MB. Yeah, I'm doing my best to show you around and seeing how the new platform copes with it. YouTube, of course. And oh, now it's gone up to about 2,500 kilobits per second. So I'm guessing is the signal. I'd imagine it'd be okay if that's the case. Either way, I'll just pause on the church spire for now. But yeah, I'll moving on because there's a little bit more to show you as well. And yeah, I hope. And yeah, this is all good practice, which means we can pause at short notice and all sorts of possibilities. But of course, it is a case of keeping one eye on the quality of the stream and seeing how everything fares and if there are any glitches that need ironing out, of course. So yeah, assuming you can still see and hear me, we are back on the River Thames here. Something quite interesting to show you just around the corner as well. Buffering circle's not there on this screenshot, that's right. Yeah, like I say, it's all a learning experience. I'll see how we can fare with the various towns and cities as it pertains to the signal strength, of course. And with any luck, I should be able to watch the stream back so I can assess it myself. But yeah, in the meantime, here's some nice scenery for a Saturday afternoon, I feel. Oh, thank you, John, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate all the super chats and the super stickers. It's great to see. It'd be great still to see some of the other guys from Hago get onto the monetised side of things as well. And For those of you who know, I may well do a Facebook post about, well, a motivational post and maybe one or two tips as well. But yeah, for now there is a very interesting set of buildings, a set of almshouses. Alms as an ALMS. Oh, John's here. John in West Berkshire, so not too far from Abingdon, which was historically in Berkshire, but now in Oxfordshire. And Tarek as well, hello. Yes, we're at the latter end of this tour, which I scheduled quite impromptually, if that's a word. But yeah, for those of you who know a.k.a, it's not on the calendar, but yeah, it was a bit of a test because I was this way anyway in Oxfordshire, and I thought I'd also test to see the effectiveness of notifications, which is also an opportunity to say that if you do want to be notified of any other impromptu tours that I might do, then you can click on the old bell just below the channel banner of mine, because I do intend to go around a lot of places in the UK, which is a part of what I do on my YouTube channel. You might have noticed I've been around nearly 400 towns and cities, and that's how I intend to go on. And so yeah, and this isn't in no way replacing the ambient walks that I do, where I don't talk, I just walk around in 4K, but rather it's to add an additional element to the channel for those interested in the live interaction and the exploration, the spontaneity side of things. And so yeah, so yeah, we are, by the way, looking at an almshouse dating from way back to 1446, I believe. And so we're in the era of Henry VI, that is. And so an almshouse, by the way, was a special building that was built for specifically for the poorer residents of the town. And so this one here is called Long Alley Almshouse, and it was originally built for 7 poor men and 6 poor women. And you can see this great wooden cloister they've got here. With a few Bible verses for good measure as well. If I can get the lens between the wooden things there. Yeah, with live you never know what's going to happen, whether you're going to be attacked by wild geese, for instance, or anything like that. And the storyboard, are you referring to not sure which storyboard you're referring to. Do you mean the... I can give you a general idea. Maybe a stray peacock will wander by indeed. That was a fun day. Yes. Very peaceful corner of the town. Oh, thank you, Raymond, thank you. Yeah, good old pair. Oh, Cat was on, wasn't she? Saw the penguins being fed. Oh, nice. Sounds lovely. Yeah, Cat's a great guide. She's one of the newer guides from a.k.a. before it closed. She's from Derbyshire originally, I gather, but she tends to go around East Yorkshire from what I've seen. And is that open? Okay, maybe not, but yes, they're actually I'll just manoeuvre the other way. Oh, Ashley, hello, yeah. yeah, I was headed this way anyway, so I thought it would be rude of me not to do a little stream, and I didn't make an effort to publicise it, just wanted to see the effect of notifications and how effectively YouTube pushes the tour out to people, and also to give you a bit more practice as well with the new platform. Tarek, yeah, so like I say, it was just sort of a last minute tour, you could say. But all going to plan. It should be available for playback later if anyone's interested. And this is another almshouse here. It's got quite an interesting name as well. Yeah, no worries, Cynthia. Yeah, I'm happy for the company in some of these fascinating places that I go to. So yeah, we're looking at Twitty's almshouse. So, named after Charles Twitty. It's a great name. And it was built from funds that he bestowed after his death in 1705, and this was built originally for 3 poor men and 3 poor women. And you can see the very sort of early brickwork. Next, Emily, in terms of what I've got planned, the next scheduled one is Stockport's next weekend. But yeah, like I say, if I do post any other tours, I'll be on the live panel of my YouTube page. But, yeah, so the almshouses, they were something that were typically set up from sort of the medieval era up to typically the 17th century, where a wealthy resident would leave funds in their will to build a building like this, where specifically some of the poorer members of the town would be able to reside with dignity. So, oh yeah, I can test the zoom once again. Still getting to grips with myself. Oh, Hunstanton and Cromer, Great Yarmouth. Yeah, I mean to go to Norfolk at some point. I've not actually done those for YouTube yet. So yeah, there'll definitely be a time for the coast of Norfolk, absolutely. Well-behaved members of the town. Well, you've not seen all the members of the town actually, but yeah, it's a peaceful spot anyway. Yeah, so the zoom function, just to give you a little demo. So, for anyone interested, I'm just doing the thing where I pull the screen apart with my fingers, if that's the right way of describing it, and then it gives you a zoom like that. And see if you can read that. So the notifications show up on your phone rather than you having to search for them. Yeah, ideally. Yeah, notifications are the best way of keeping up to date with what the guides are doing. All the guides, not just myself. So being subscribed alone doesn't actually do much in terms of, it may put a few videos up on your homepage, but other than that, yes, notifications are far more effective, shall we say. Are these private residences today? I think they may be, so probably shouldn't stare too long actually. So yeah, I just thought I'd give you a little idea there of the almshouses. Zoom pics were clear, that's good to hear. So yeah, I'll just head on back to the river to close out this little last minute tour. And set notification, all the guides who subscribe, not all may be showing up. Yeah, like I say, with YouTube it is somewhat random in the sense that they have a preference towards promoting the channels that you've recently watched, I believe. Yeah, like I say, either way, as long as the notification bell's on, then that's, yeah, it's kind of the best way. And I'm not, like I say, I'm not just talking about myself and for the other guys, of course. And yeah. And yeah, it seems like there's a bit of drama on the Facebook website regarding certain people not happy with the calendar, but I hope we can put that behind us at the end of the day. Kelsey and John and Leonie have done an amazing job, considering this has been sprung upon them with this rug pull of the a.k.a. platform. So yeah, be sure to give them all your best from me and from yourselves, of course. Express worry about learning how to use YouTube. Well, like I say, I'm happy to help in any regard. In fact, I was thinking about doing a post about YouTube, a little bit of motivation as well, because there is amazing potential, and the fact that the guys from a.k.a. have had essentially the perfect experience to carry over onto YouTube means that, yeah, there's a lot of potential for them, and I'm sure this fellow agrees. But yeah, it's a good question. Thanks, Elizabeth. Yeah, like I say, in time it'll come, I'm sure. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think that more or less concludes this little tour of Abingdon. So be on the lookout for more last-minute tours. As I say, the calendar isn't exhaustive of the tours going on, but it is a great help to us guys, and we all appreciate that. And exactly, watching the videos to raise the watch hours is the best way to support if they're going down the YouTube route, of course. And yeah, like I said, the ducks move fast here because there's quite a strong current on the Thames in this spot. So we have a live tour. Yeah, and thanks all for coming out. Like I say, it was interesting. Just wondering how you all found me today. Was it a notification, or did it pop up on your homepage, or? Because I hear they notify you about 30 minutes before the tour starts. Don't know if that's true for everyone, but that's kind of what I've heard. And yeah, and for anyone wondering, I'll look into optimising the audio as well. I appreciate you bearing with me on that front. And how far from central London are we here? We are, MB, we're about 55 miles west of central London and slightly north as well. Oh, thanks, Maria. And some got notifications to some didn't. Yeah, seems to be the way. Yeah, like I said, we're all learning on the job here in terms of YouTube live streaming. So, didn't do 10 minutes before. That's interesting. Yeah. So, yeah, so lots of potential with YouTube live streaming and the other platforms, of course. But yeah, this allows us to keep start back where we left off. For those of you who know us from a.k.a. And when your screen as the tour started, this was 30 minutes. And thanks for all the kind words, by the way. I do appreciate that. And yeah, I should probably call it for now. So I'll just flip the camera around and say thank you from me myself here in Abingdon on Thames. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm sure I'll see you when I see you. The next scheduled tour, like I say, is in Stockport next weekend on the Sunday, I believe. So if you're around for that, that'd be great to see you. If not, you're welcome to keep an eye out for any of the tours that I'll schedule along the way. And oh, MB, the population of Abingdon is about 30,000. And any other questions for now? Raymond says, when we tip on YouTube, do you get the full amount? On the super chats and the super stickers, it's 70-30 to the guide, and not including VAT tax as well. But yeah, it roughly works out to the same as a.k.a. in that regard. But you get the benefit of a bear giving a thumbs up, for instance, and or a highlighted comment. So there's that. And yeah, I'll just give you a closing shot of the Thames, and I'll wish you the very best on this very pleasant Saturday afternoon here. And until next time, have a good one and take care. And bye from me.